Hello, everyone, and welcome to Infinite Integration, where infinite possibility meets daily practice. I'm Tanys Coughlan from the Twillo Lifestyle Community, Twillo Lifestyle Academy. I am joined by my beautiful co-host, Jacqueline Richards. Welcome.
Hey, everybody.
And we want to say a big hello to everyone who's joining us, either live or in the future. And today we have an interesting theme, much more on our yoga and energy healing vein today. It's trauma healing through yoga and energy calming, energy management. So fascinating topic, right?
I think so.
It's so we're going to invite all of you that are listening to listen at your own pace, right? Take your time. If something is then if something gets triggered, let us know, because that's part of what we're doing here. We want to make sure that people know how to manage their energy and how to calm their nervous system and that sort of thing. So, Jacqueline, when we talk about trauma healing, we often think of the mind first. Today, we're really centering on the nervous system, right? So,
Yes, we are.
when the nervous system, so why is it such an important part of our bodies? It's a key, right? A key gateway to trauma healing.
Absolutely. And so when we use that word trauma, no one wants to hear it really, but we all know it to be true. It lives in the body as I tap my chest. It's safety before insight. To consider that the nervous system is always asking, am I safe? And here's the question to you. Do you ask yourself, are you safe? I can tell you there's a number of opportunities where I've had the opportunity to say that out loud to myself, for myself, and then to those around me. Are you safe? You know, why regulation matters here is more than just an understanding. More than just an understanding.
And so, what is that regulation that we're discussing? I mean, regulation means having your system in alignment, right? Being grounded.
And
So
we
it's a
use that, isn't that interesting?
physiology, right? Yeah.
Side note, so I was teaching my yoga class today, chair yoga, and that was my theme of the class. Just find a way to be grounded. It was about allowing the shoulders to relax, the soles of the feet to the floor, and allowing the hips to just be. And it's interesting because when we talk about the system, the nervous system, it has a lot to do with the vagus nerve.
Mm-hmm.
The vagus nerve, um, it's like a bridge. It's like a bridge.
Mm-hmm. Well, it tells us what's going on, really, right? It indicates that if the vagus nerve is activated, right, then we're in that activated state.
Yeah,
And so we're in fight or flight. So
exactly.
that's how it plays that bridge between the physical body's reacting. And it's also, when we react that way, it affects the energy system as well as our psyche.
And I love when we talk about the physical aspect of the vagus nerve. It's calming, and so we do we call it the box breath,
Mm-hmm.
calming. But what also works, have you ever gone outside because you've had a really rough day, and it happens to be a beautiful sunshiny day, and the birds are chirping, and your chirp is a wickedly loud scream. Not one wickedly loud scream, but five wickedly loud screams. That is the system saying, okay, we've got it, let it go. I'm amazed at what a good loud yell will do for the system.
Well, it's a way of expressing energy, right? You're one, you're expressing your truth because you're upset with something or you're activated or whatever that is. So it's helping to move that energy through the throat chakra,
Yeah.
but it's also
The
helping you to
soothe.
release it, right?
Yeah.
So that we're able to release the energy rather than have it stick in the body, which is what the danger is with trauma. When you were saying you feel, we carry it in our body, right in the body. A lot of times it's on the shoulders that we're carrying it. And so that's often, when we can release it through any bodily function, right? Yelling, crying,
Crying is great. So's
burping,
laughing.
farting,
All
laughing.
that stuff. We let that energy go. And
Mm-hmm.
then give thanks because it came up because it needed to. When I'm thinking about potentially needing to go and take a break, I see this many times where people will take their thumbs, put it at the temple, or they'll take their thumbs and take it to the neck. You know, um, Tanis talked about holding space, holding energy in the shoulders. Don't you find sometimes it's in the neck,
Mm-hmm.
from the base of the skull all the way down the shoulder to the, like, I know because I've heard it before.
Mm-hmm.
I can't move my shoulders the way I used to. Take a long, deep breath and let's work on that.
Yeah.
It'll take all of 2 seconds. 2 seconds scream.
Mm-hmm. I've also, had clients that were needing to express, and I've had them like hit a pillow because they just needed to express it, right? They couldn't
Yeah.
express it verbally, like they couldn't get it out,
Yeah.
or they couldn't cry, or they couldn't. And so this was a way that they could really express the energy, get the energy out. I mean, there's many, many ways we can do that in expression and release.
I know I was watching a documentary, and it was a little bit about it was trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I say go out and scream because sometimes your neighbors might not like it, not appreciate it, but they know.
Oh, I'm not sure if you guys are getting this, but Jacqueline has frozen. I don't know if it's me or her.
Go for a power walk.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
You were frozen
Welcome
for
back.
a little bit.
Yeah. That was a pause.
That was
I
a
say
pause.
scream, breathe, pause.
Right. So that was our pause. Very good.
Yeah.
Welcome, Nalani. Thank you for joining us. Yes, there is something in the air today. Can't put my finger on exactly what. Yeah, we were talking about that before the
Yeah.
show. Um, that I've had sort of waves of that kind of stuff coming in where you're just like, I'm activated and I'm not sure why. Activated meaning I'm like, it's like a bit of an agitation with no real reason for it in my world. So obviously it's not my agitation, but I'm certainly experiencing that sort of bumping up against energies that are odd this week. So I hear you, Melanie.
Oh,
I hear you. That's definitely a thing.
I listened on the news, and that was that comment made. And then it was, did you know we had an earthquake? He's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I didn't know we had an earthquake. And apparently we had a little bit of a tremor. And the collective is feeling, I believe, that
Mm-hmm.
tremor.
Yeah. And that's, when we talk about the bridge, right? Our
Mm.
body is saying, hey, there's something going on. Pay
Yeah.
attention. So that was likely what it is. So it may be something like that, Nalani, that you're feeling, and one of your dogs may be feeling it as well.
Yeah.
The that just things are not right. It's like your body's saying something's wrong.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to put a finger on what it is, but something's going on. So we can look and find out what's going on, and then we work with our own nervous system. right?
Oh, I love when you
Yeah.
said it's not just physical, it's emotional. I
Mother Earth is
appreciate.
remodeling. She is,
And she's picking her favorite colors, I'm sure of it.
I'm sure. Yes.
Uh, so,
So,
Tanys,
yeah,
sorry, I
go
was
ahead.
going to ask, can you tell all of us a little bit more? So, we talked about the vagus nerve is the
Hmm.
communicator,
Hmm.
and we understand that the bodies is an energetic connection.
Yeah.
And but this is your domain. The we just talked about an uh, an earthquake. Isn't
Hmm.
that some sort of aura? Uh,
Yeah.
like what's happening there?
So when the Earth is vibrating, we measure the vibration of the Earth with the Schumann resonance scale. And so when we have earthquakes, when we have solar flares, when we have coronal mass ejections, we have volcanoes erupting, those things they affect the vibration of the Earth. So the Schumann resonance, you'll often see spikes and stuff in the Schumann resonance. And when that happens, like the Earth vibrates and we vibrate because we're on the Earth. And so when the Earth vibrates higher, we feel that in our body. And because it's a change, our bodies are super sensitive. Like we don't realize just how sensitive they are. And as we vibrate, we create an electromagnetic field around us, which is what we often talk about being the aura. And so to stabilize that, it's really about grounding it because it's all part of the same energy system. And so when we have that sort of thing happening, it's really important to be able to focus and bring energy down, and energy flows where attention goes, right? So when we have the thought that, okay, I want to bring the energy down into the earth. And so usually what my intention is that I want to release any excess energy down into the earth because she probably needs it too, right? Because she needs to stabilize as well. And so as we take a breath and we send that excess energy down, that helps us to stabilize not only our chakras but also our auric system as well. So that's certainly a factor in all of this, right? As we stabilize the chakras, stabilize the auric fields by taking excess energy out, it helps us to get back to a place where we're like comfortable in that range. So I think that's important. And of course, we've got our galactic brothers and sisters that can help us too, in order to do that, and our guides. So if we're struggling with some of that and we're feeling like that fluttery kind of, feeling like we are a little bit overwhelmed because we go jump into overwhelm, then we can always ask our guides and our galactic brothers and sisters to come and help us regulate some of that. I know they've been stepping in a fair bit to help us with that. And so, but we have to ask, right? Because we do have free will. So they can't interfere unless we ask. So,
Sorry, side note, that's what you teach, isn't it? You
yeah.
need the asking for permission.
Hmm. We need to ask them to help us, um, because they can't interfere. And it's the same when we're doing energy healing for somebody, right? We have to ask their permission. And that's exactly why. Because if I was to go into somebody's field and start doing energy healing, they're sensitive. And even if they don't understand what it is or they don't know, like they're not, um, even if they're not used to sort of what it feels like, somebody going into their energetic field, you could trigger someone's vagus nerve by going into their energy field without permission. So this is why I always, in my classes, I'm always like, you have to have permission before you go in and start doing any work on anybody at a distance, because I mean, obviously in person too, but they know if you're in person. But if you're doing it at a distance, you always want to make sure that you've got permission to be doing it so that they're aware. Otherwise, it can trigger this response, the fight or flight response. So that's an important thing to remember as well.
Thank you for that, because it's how often do we not ask for permission when should we can't do this woulda shoulda coulda, right?
Yeah.
Asking permission is incredibly important.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love that our galactic brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles, it's like, good on you, good on you. So,
Yeah. So we have Kelly with us today too. Hi, Kelly.
hey, Kelly.
Thanks for joining us.
So the idea of safety, because we're talking about auras and
Mhm.
stability and galactic sensitivity. That idea of safety brings us into grounding
Mhm.
again, again.
So, why is grounding and safety essential before deep energetic or spiritual work?
Oh, I like the way you said that. And I
Especially,
bet you it's her question. And I know there's people out there who would absolutely answer that. So you asked about grounding and being essential.
yes,
And then you
we don't
said
realize it.
exactly
Right?
deeper energetic and spiritual work. You all four of those are four words. There we go. All go together in beautiful ways. Beautiful
Mm-hmm.
ways. You know, the body has this way to, and we know this, prioritize survival. There's a reason why we learned how to swim.
Mm-hmm.
Prioritize where the toes, for me, toes to the floor, to the sand. It's like, that's my priority. It's like, I want to stay right here. And then there's others who said, where is your life jacket, Jacqueline? Prioritize. Your body
Safety.
needs to know it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then regulation before expansion.
Well,
Regulation before expansion.
that makes sense, right? Because we have to make sure that we're regulating our own energy. Like stepping into a 0 point energy state first before we put ourselves out there to expand. I always say when we're doing expansion, it's like we go out like this and then we kind of come back again. And then we go, I guess you can't see my hands very well, but anyway, we go out like this and we come back in.
In like that, in like this, or like that.
Usually it's way in here, but but yes, we go out and then we come back into safety and we go out again and we come back into safety, right? Because that's where we're comfortable. And we have to find some comfort zone in between. So that really means that regulation, meaning get into grounding, get into that center point that sometimes people call a 0 point energy, where you're just grounded into the earth and there's like and everything settles. You can feel that settling energy happen. It's important before we actually start to go out, because otherwise our body can interpret it as trauma, right? If we don't do it well.
You see, that's that last word, well. And so the trauma, sometimes you don't even know that you've got a trigger
Yes.
until.
Yep. Funny thing about that, so I didn't realize I was scared of heights until I was about, I don't know, 15, 16. I went to Lake Placid with my mom and we went up in the ski jumps, front that they had there for the Olympics. And I'm standing at the top of the ski jump and I'm on the little platform there. I'm not jumping. I'm just standing on the platform, just to be clear. And then I was like, I'm looking down and the whole thing felt like it was doing this. And I'm like, okay. And I said to my mom, is this thing moving? And she's like, no. And I was like, it feels like it's moving to me.
It,
So
it would
I
for
was like,
me.
I was realized that I had a fear because it wasn't moving. And so that was me in trauma going, oh my God, the thing's moving. So, and that was a fear that I didn't realize that I had. Now, I didn't have any trauma in this life around heights. However, probably other lifetimes I've had that. I'm pretty sure. So, and
I'm glad you
we can
said
have
that.
things that we don't know
Exactly.
that. We block things out,
We do.
or something might happen when we're a kid and we think it's just a tiny thing when we look back at it. But as a kid, you might experience it as huge trauma, especially things like abandonment and whatnot. A small thing can feel huge to a little one. Going to the store to get milk and coming back can feel like a huge abandonment. And we don't realize that. Just depends on the person.
But sometimes when we hide it, It's like I need not to tell anybody. I need not to say anything. I need not to write it out or draw it out. I have to hide it.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a specific or a collective. We just have to hide it. And if we don't talk about it, no one will need to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about a trauma
Yeah.
moment.
And that is what we tend to do as a society. We tend to, almost teach people to keep it inside. And then we're not regulating our nervous system. We're not regulating our energy
Mhm.
system. We're really putting more pressure on the systems. I just want
It,
to acknowledge too with Nalani. Funny, this is the only community I can share these feelings with and not get funny looks. Yeah, no funny looks here. It's all good.
no funny looks because we all love each other. Sometimes I can
Exactly.
make the heart, sometimes I can't. But when I'm
I
teaching
can't.
yoga, I make the heart.
Yes.
Um, it, and I know there's going to be more moments where we get to talk about things that we've chosen to keep hidden. Um,
Yeah.
it, what I will say is that we
Yes.
are coming to that place where we will open the door for those. We'll open the door because keeping those secrets
Mm-hmm.
aren't helping many of us.
No, the ability to talk about it um, and hold space for each other for these conversations is super important, right? Especially like Nalani's saying, like what's happening in the states.
Yeah.
Safety is a hot topic. It's probably why she feels so unsettled. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt, right? We have
Thank
a
you.
lot going on.
Oh, absolutely. And here in this city of ours, and hopefully she continues to expand, a good friend of mine, Susan Blaine, exactly what we're talking about is
Mm-hmm.
what she's decided no secrets here. So she created an organization called Dare to Be Vulnerable,
Yeah, it's
having the
amazing.
courage to step up and know that you will always be supported.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well, and
so,
I think we try to create that as well. I think it's really
yes.
important that all of us are trying to do this for each other.
Yeah.
Um, Susan's organization is amazing. I actually saw one of her events not long ago where she actually had some
Yeah.
men
Yeah.
speaking about their vulnerable times, and it was amazing to see that because men in particular they've been shamed into quietness
Yeah.
around. They're supposed to be brave, they're supposed to be courageous and not have all this, but that's hooey. Because really, we all have it. We're all human, and we all have a vagus nerve that gets triggered.
All of us.
All of us. I would guess even the ones that are not human, like our canines and
Oh, there we go.
our felines
Oh, absolutely. And
and our
that's
birds.
why, well, that's why there are guard dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, do we have cats? Do we have guide cats? I don't know.
Yes, yes, we
Thank
have
you.
familiars as well. So the familiars are those magical friends that come to us in the way of animals, and you just know they've just got this unique wisdom that not
Mhm.
others have. So, or they've had some connection with you in a past life
Yeah.
or something, and you can just tell the connection is different.
Mhm.
And so they definitely are our little guides.
Oh, guides. So sorry, I'm going to go back because we talked about um,
Mhm.
regulation before expansion.
Right.
That's about breathing. When you were doing that, that was about breath work too. As we
Mm-hmm.
take a breath in to, and then expand the heart and let it go. But,
Yeah.
and while we're doing that, when we decide to take that breath or to decide to regulate and expand, it's about simple grounding. That G word, that G word.
Grounding. Yeah.
It's sitting in this chair helps me ground. I have a great sofa behind me. I lie on the sofa and I watch a documentary that it makes me laugh. That's grounding for me. But also, I previously said it's about taking those quick walks. It doesn't have to be 2 hours. 2 minutes will do. Just finding those mini practices, and we will continue talking about it. And then a vinyasa. So a yoga flow, a yoga experience can, not can, is incredibly powerful because it asks you to be who you are in the open space or confined space. You can find the yoga, the essence of allowing yourself to be okay and ask the questions. Are my knees okay? That's what I asked today. I want you to rub your knees, thank your knees for getting us here. I want you to take the hands on the hips and understand it's perfect reason why you're here. I want you to take the hands to the shoulders. And we were talking about shoulders, right? I am going to massage. The art of yoga. It's powerful.
Definitely.
Not just because I'm a yogini, but it is powerful.
It's powerful. That's why you are a yogi. Yes, indeed. I think, that grounding thing, the other thing we could talk about, of course, is crystals, which help us ground.
Goody.
Right? So this is black tourmaline, very good for grounding. Also really good to help decrease the stimulation, the overstimulation, right? So black tourmaline is like my go-to for if I'm feeling like that. I'll grab a piece and sit with it a while. Another one, of course, is selenite, which I don't seem to have a stick of at the moment here, but I do have a little pyramid. It's that white flaky one. It's a gypsum-based crystal. It's really good at transmuting some of that. So if we're feeling a little bit, it can be very calming to bring it down. So,
okay, I have a question. I don't know if the group has a question like this. So over the course of my world, I pick up stones.
yes.
And I'm not sure what they are, but they're speaking to me. So while I'm picking up my wooden stick so I can do my tick, 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 I'm picking up my stones. I have no idea what they are. So I'm not wanting to feel silly about it, but could I ask you, like, could we have a connection so I could show you these stones that bring me, I was going to say bring me life, and they do. And so that you can help me figure that out, because chakra energies, stones, they're all connected. So I'm just asking if that would be okay. Maybe there's more than just me who's wondering. Maybe that's something you consider. That would be appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing that if you need a quick fix, it's not always perfect. I'm going to say it's not always perfect because I've done it and I've been like, but Chat GPT, if you take a picture of it and put the picture into chat, it will sometimes tell you the right stone. I'm going to say sometimes because I have had it
or
not
human.
perfect because it's still learning.
Yeah.
And yes, there's also Rock Identifier. It's a great app as well. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. But for the most part, you can get it from either of those. Otherwise, I'm happy to help. Yeah. Yeah.
See, we just ask and it's answered. There's my book. Ask and it is answered. I love Esther Hicks. Oh, and her husband.
Yeah.
So
he was not with us anymore, I don't think, eh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
However, we talk to him, and Abraham, we talk to him all the time.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then some are saying, I don't know who Abraham is. It's look it up. Look it up.
Abraham
It's great information.
Yeah. Comes through Esther Hicks.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
So, so I talked about slow yoga vinyasas.
Yes.
And that it connects beautifully with the breath that you talked about. You didn't say breath, but you described it.
Yes. Bringing the breath in, sending that energy down into the earth. So that's done with the breath. Yeah. We can anchor light through the system with that.
I need to write that down. Anchor light.
Anchor light. Yeah. So when we bring in light, when we need to be calm and love and light from source is very calming, right? But it's also a lot. So we want to really anchor into the earth when we do that. So let's do a little grounding exercise while we are talking about breath. I want you to just close your eyes, and we're going to just take 3 big deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as we do that, we're going to envision light coming down from source, down into our crown chakra, down through the third eye, through the throat chakra, down through the heart chakra and the solar plexus, down through the sacral, just around the navel, all the way down through the root chakra at the base of the spine, creating a grounding cord and sending that all the way down into the earth. As it goes down through the cool earth, comes across a rock or a tree root, we wrap that grounding cord around the tree root to ground ourselves. Then we're going to take it a step further. We're going to take that cord and we're going to go all the way down to the crystalline core of the earth. And we're going to wrap the cord around the crystalline core to anchor us there. And we're going to take a big deep breath. And we're going to pull that earth energy all the way up through the grounding cord, through the root chakra, all the way up through the sacral and the solar plexus, up through the heart, the throat, up through the third eye, and out the crown, all the way up to source. And we have a beautiful even flow. So this creates a balanced effect for us. And the anchoring and the grounding together really help us to create that feeling of inner safety. When we feel balanced with the two energies, we're nice and grounded, connected to the earth. It's very much a calming state. So deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just notice how you feel with that. Bring your awareness down your spine. So just notice how you feel. It should feel more calm, more grounded. Helps to calm that fight or flight response with the vagus nerve. How you doing, Jacqueline?
So you didn't hear me say to myself, that couch is right behind me and begging me to come out and play. And then you said about the vagus nerve. I'm like, yeah, I got that. And it's about, I love how you made it so easy, because we can all make it that easy. Whether you're lying down or seated, you could be against the wall and doing the exact same thing and following it from source to crown, right? Anahata. And that's what we want to do every single day, because breath, and I think you are considering that it's the breath and galactic sensitivity. Say that 3 times fast. Not you, Tanys. You. Because sometimes the breath, it helps the galactic sensitivity. And you talked about overstimulation, and I don't want to think that the 2 feet of snow that we had coming in, or what they said about it being incredibly frosty, and that you stay inside because you could get frostbite. I'd rather be accepting the breath of the galactic sensitivity.
Yeah, I mean, we're the galactic sensitivity. That term is really about the more that we tap into the overexpansing energy and the energy that we bring in from galactic beings and that sort of thing can create an oversensitivity um, or an overstimulation. And I think that's just
Mm.
with the way things are right now. We are bringing in an awful lot of downloads from our galactic friends, and but there's an awful lot of fluctuation in our own the Earth systems. So, as all of that is happening, it just creates an overall overstimulation, I think. So, really taking care of our bodies, taking care of our energy system is going to be key in the coming times, I think. So, how does trauma show up in the energy body? And how do we release that? Whether it's with yoga or gentle movement.
Ah, the mm, stagnation. I don't know if we did that in December. I don't think we all did that in December. Was anyone stagnant in December? Were you holding stuff in December?
Hmm.
Maybe the first week of January? Did you feel a little
Yeah.
bit of numbness? You know, it's interesting. I do tap my fingers every once in a while to make sure I still can be stimulated by heat and ice cubes. I tap my fingers so that I know that when I'm moving my fingers, my wrists, that I get to restore. Restore. Being stagnant doesn't help the wrists, I got to tell you. Being stagnant doesn't help the knees, like I just talked about, or the ankles.
Mm-hmm.
Movement restores your choice.
Yeah. I mean, if
You
we
know,
can't move because we've got stagnant energy stuck in the joints and whatnot,
yeah.
that creates that uh, like a restriction in movement, and we don't want that. That takes away choices of what we can do, right?
Oh,
So,
100%. One of my students had said to me, uh, so she's coming in for yoga because she watched someone not stay active. She made a decision to stay active. That's all she did. She witnessed it and decided, I would love to be able to move. I would love for my knees and hips to be okay. Even better, when you talk about your spine, oh, yeah. That, and I said,
mhm.
well, make that sound. Make that sound. Tell your body just how much you love it. Be consistent and curious. You know, when I say make the sounds, be curious about it, why you saying it. We do sounds in some moments. The sound of a bee.
Oh yeah,
Some would think, why would we do that? Why would we do that? Because it's just another beautiful sound. Remember the honeybee and look up what that honeybee does for us all. And then um, slow release versus force. I do power yoga, and it's yoga moving thoughtfully, not by force. Now, we've got other arts that is about force, and
mm-hmm.
many will say it's actually about the rhythm in the force.
Yeah,
It's about the rhythm and the flow. So take it how you need it to be: slow release or forcing.
yeah. I definitely feel like for me anyway, the slow release is that the gentle releasing of a muscle. That when we're stretching in a yoga pose, and it's like, oh, yeah, okay, that feels good.
Yeah,
And then you take a breath and you can release that little bit more, and it allows rather than trying to force the stretch for too far, because then you're not doing your body any good,
yeah.
right? So definitely like that slow release is better for you. in my opinion, anyway.
And it's amazing that people think if you don't force it, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
If I
So
were a handy,
ourselves.
exactly, if it was a DIY moment and I'm trying to force it, I'm not sure that that moment would have honored what I was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Kelly says
Tannis,
she almost fell asleep sharing our relaxation. Beautiful.
exactly.
And
The
Hypno
spring,
City says a snake can't grow unless he sheds. Yeah, that's that expansion piece, right? We have to expand.
yes.
We have to shed some ideas, some beliefs, some of that, stinking thinking. Not sure why that's coming up, but stinking thinking. Yeah,
And
I'm
and
gonna
it
go
is
check.
that, and thank you for that snake, because last year was year of the snake. Now we're in year of the horse that's coming up soon.
Mm-hmm.
Tannis and I talked about last year. What did we shed? What did we release? What did we peel off so that
Mm-hmm.
we could have the new arrive? Moments where you need to want to sit down and write about it, sing about it, write poetry about it. Beautiful poetry are flowing. And and I think we've forgotten just how beautiful that snake can be when
Well,
you
the
let go and
release.
release. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're beautiful. Don't want to
Even,
be bit.
no, but just like the crying of the release can be a little, but that's how I do it. Most times anyway. And so those big ones, we have these big crying fits. It's ridiculous. Anyway, it's
I know.
ridiculous in a wonderful way, though. I say that with
Exactly.
love because, I
Yeah.
don't like being all stuffed up, but I'll tell you the next day or after, an hour or so after, what a beautiful opening
Yeah.
when you've released that stuff. And I think that's when you can bring yourself down from the trauma response and start to sit in that relaxation and allow ourselves that slow release, right? Like we're talking about. So definitely.
And not that it has anything to do with this, but how much sleep do any of you get? And do you know how much sleep you should get? So I hear 8 hours a day. And I know people who do 3 hours a day. I know people who do 12 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just asking you what and how much sleep works for you, because honestly, it's all about you. And if you don't test out, then you never know.
Yeah.
See?
Well, and it's
Be
important
that
to
snake.
listen to the
Shift.
body,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And so when your body, and there's times in the year, like for me, this time of year is a time when I often need a little bit more sleep, and I know that I can go with 7 or 8 hours if I have an afternoon rest,
Yeah.
sometimes enough. As long as I can have that peace, then I'm good with 7 or 8 hours. If I can't have that peace and I do the 7 or 8 hours a couple of days, then I'm a 10-hour girl for a night or two.
But isn't
Yeah.
that great? You chose to know you. You
Yeah.
chose to know you. And so
Yeah.
what you just talked about are really, um, no, I'm going to ask the question. What are simple, everyday nervous system tools that we can use without overwhelm?
Okay. So I think,
Oh, yummy.
that the simpler the better, because we remember it and we can do it on the spot.
Yeah.
So the one that we did earlier, that is huge.
My gosh. Like,
Um,
really, ladies and gentlemen, how long did that take?
mhm,
Was it 2 minutes?
maybe if that.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can also do you mentioned earlier, the square breath.
This way.
So for
Yeah.
those of you that
Awesome.
don't know what that one is, it's where you breathe in to the count of four, you hold it to the count of four, you breathe out to the count of four, and you hold it to the count of four. And you just keep repeating that. And you'll notice that your whole system will just shift.
Yeah. And they call it the box breath because you envision the box. So when Tana said you inhale, so I'm looking at the box and it's on the right hand side. I inhale one side of the box, and as I hold the breath, it's the top of the box that I cross. And then I exhale and take down on the left side of the box and hold to the back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the beginning.
Yeah. That's a beautiful one.
Oh, yeah.
And then, the longer you can exhale, or sometimes you'll do like a bigger breath, right?
Yep.
And then you exhale like you don't want to blow out a candle. You're trying not to blow out a birthday candle. So very, very, until you're fully exhaled, right? So that could take you quite a while if you're doing that. And that's good. The other thing that people often find regulating is humming. Now, I do that automatically, often because my guides are humming in my head as well. But I didn't realize that actually for years. I would hum these songs. I'm like, I don't know where this song comes from, but okay. And then I realized that my Pleiadian guides were humming. That I caught them humming one day and I went, oh, okay. Because they were humming the song. And I don't know the song. So, yeah, it was fascinating. But again, it is very calming to be doing that, right? Mm. Or hands on the body. We can do that too, right? Right on our heart and then on our solar plexus, just underneath. When we do some breathing with that can really help ground that energy in. It gets you going on it's like a little circle that you go with in that part of the system that if you're doing that. And of course, when we're having fight or flight, that's like anxiety, right? And so that can be related to self-esteem issues, which is solar plexus. It can be related to grief or trauma stuff. So that's often heart as well as solar plexus. So if you put your hand on those, we all have Reiki. We can all run Reiki energy. So if you just say Reiki, 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 or Reiki flow, Reiki flow, Reiki flow, you will be able to run some energy through your system. The difference with the Reiki training is that it opens up the amount of energy that you can run. But everybody has the ability to run Reiki energy. So that's another thing. And just having that, there's something about having your hands there that really just calms the body as well. And then, we talked about bringing the energy down and bringing earth energy up. Both of those are important, I think, because but bringing the energy down through helps us to release excess into the earth for transmutation, which is a beautiful way to keep things moving in that way.
So, and I imagine there will be at some moment, and I continue to say at some moment, where you have, Tana said, allow the hand on the heart and the belly. So the fourth chakra and the third chakra, I should say the second chakra, tapping works too. Mm-hmm. Just tiny taps, chest, tiny taps. I do tapping, especially when I'm having a challenge getting to the answer that I need to have. Mm-hmm. And so I, not just yoga, but I will tap the legs. I walk my talk. And so once upon a time I was on the bus tapping and people were like, oh, are you okay? I'm great.
And when you tap your chest, just take a moment, guys, and tap your chest and just feel what that feels like. It just really brings the attention. Wherever you're tapping, you're bringing the attention to that part of your body. Yeah. So you really feel and activate those chakras as you tap on them. Yeah, it's amazing.
Absolutely.
Sharon. Welcome, Sharon. Thank you for joining us. She says, stop, pause, and breathe. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So tell us what the difference, Jacqueline, is between like trauma-informed yoga versus traditional yoga.
Those T words, trauma and traditional. You know what? It's choice and consent.
Okay.
You have a choice to take your yoga union where it needs to flow. And consent. It's about asking permission. When you take a look at these 8, I'll say there's 8 different yoga essence. So, we've got, so we've got Hatha, we've got Kundalini, we've got, oh my gosh, they've all left me. We have 8 that we talk about. And it's your choice. It will always be your choice. There's a system where they have 26 yoga postures, I should say. 26. Then we've got Hatha, that's 125. So pick, do your homework. Ask someone who knows about it or who teaches it. Find a book. Sensation over shape. Sensation over shape. Some of my favorite yoginis do not fit in Lululemon size 2, which is why I believe Lululemon now has size 14. Thank you. So these yogis, it didn't matter what the size was. It mattered about the sensation that they offer. It mattered about how they cue, show, advise. Sensation over shape. I appreciate people who love the art of yoga.
Well, yoga's for everybody.
It is.
Right?
It absolutely is.
No matter what your ability or shape, like it's for everybody, which is lovely.
Absolutely. Well, look at the Paralympics.
Yep.
Do you think those athletes were told they couldn't possibly? And then they did what their heart chose to do. So it's about a choice. It was their consent to do that. It was being incredibly, not just active, but understanding that dreams can come true. And it's about self-trust, because all of those athletes trusted themselves. All of those athletes trusted that they would find their coaches. They trusted they would find the sport that honored them. They trusted it. And then it's about healing. So you've got your the people who support you. You have the energy that you've chosen. And then choose healing through agency. Choose healing.
Agency and sovereignty, right? Like take your power back. And that's often what we lose in traumatic situations, is that we lose our power, or we give our power away. Or, I mean, obviously trauma is it's not usually a choice situation where you lose power over, but sometimes. And so we have to build that self-trust and that sovereignty again. And so yoga is one of those ways that we can do that, because the discipline of it, or the actual, I'm doing this for my body, is a sovereign choice that we step into, right?
So when then adding into that yogic piece, so whether you are studying the art of yoga, or yoga teacher, a student, or you just did hey, my mom does that, I think I should try it. A silent retreat brings so much to your mind space. So much. So consider a silent retreat. It could be 1 day, 3 days, 10 days in that space where you offer karma. I continue to believe that yoga has always been around. It's never left us. We just needed to want to choose it.
Yeah.
Yay, yoga.
Well, I can't believe it's been almost an hour.
Wow.
It flew by today. So what have you got going on this coming week? We usually tell people what to expect from us. So where are we at this week?
Oh my gosh, this week is almost done. So I know I have a speaking engagement, and I'm talking about yoga and finances uh, and the chakras. I'm so excited, and that's in a space called I was going to say Small Hill. Oh my gosh, Smiths Falls,
There we
Small
go.
Hill, Smiths Falls.
It's kind of small, but not as small as it used to be.
Yeah, so that's February 12th. That'll happen. I can get that information
Awesome.
out to you, and then the yoga certification course. My fingers are crossed that we'll be able to be advertising it for the next year. This year, my bad. This year, so
Yeah,
excited.
we have a couple of loose ends to tie up, and then we're going to be putting that in there. So stay tuned for that.
So excited.
It's awesome. And of course, we'll be back here next week on
Yeah.
Wednesday as well. And I will be
Oops,
doing.
I have to say, wait,
Yes.
I have a celebrity taking my chair yoga class.
Woohoo. That's
So
awesome.
you don't have to be a celebrity, but if you want to hang out with celebrities, you can take the chair yoga class. So we've got that coming up too.
Awesome. So stay tuned. And then Saturday night, I'm doing live readings with Jennifer on YouTube and stuff. So
Goody.
you can join us here again for that. And of course, we have Twillo Talk next week. We have a fabulous guest who will be joining us. And if you are local, next Monday is the Enlightenment Evening as well. And that's local evening of fun and, psychic development and like-minded friends and all of that stuff. So stay tuned. You can sign up at twillowlifestyle.ca or here.
Ding, ding.
Ding, ding. Yeah, so that's what's happening this week. So stay tuned, everyone. It was great having you all here. And thank you so much. That, it's always a pleasure for us. And we feel your energy.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's after, we will feel the energy.
Oh, we
So
do.
thank you all for joining us. And we'll see you again real soon. Take care.
Namaste.